Hi everyone, Dorota, Palicka International Nail Artist and Educator here, and today I'm going to show you another amazing set of the nails, this time on me again. Have a wee preview of them here. As usual, lots of bling, and that's what I love the most, so I hope you really like them too. If you do, let me know in the comments below. And now start this video. Such as plain, such as beautiful, and so me set. I went shorter because the garden season is going to start soon, and I just wanted to be comfy, but I love the look of the clear gel with nothing over the top, and I will show you how to do it. So I have removed some old set of the extensions from this nail, and I will show you all the preparation. So first of all, I'm going to push back the cuticles. And this is my finger, which actually don't show you. I don't think so. I show you it often because usually I do the demonstration on this finger because it's quite most difficult one because of the high hyponychium. Why this one is quite difficult as well because of the shape of the nail folds. When I'm holding the nail brush, I might actually demonstrate as well. I constantly put a pressure into this part. So I've got this part a little bit overgrown nail fold, and they're like it's much harder, you can see it, and also the shape of the nail fold isn't as nice, so I thought I'm going to show you this nail. And as you can see it, I've got almost high hyponychium in there, but just on the one side, like just in there, and then I've got an empty space in here. So I have to also watch how I apply the form so the nail doesn't go squint. Okay, but I'm just removing the push back the cuticles, and I'm going to scrape it a little bit of the cuticle which is on my nail plate. I will also use the e-file as well. I mean, obviously I'm right-handed, so I'm doing things with my left hand, and you can see it like how bad this side looks in here. Then I'm going to use the cuticle beach and the portable e-file, the cordless one actually, which I don't know why. It's not powerful, but I like it quite a lot. And I'm going to do it on the forward speed. One side of my nail of my cuticle first, like remove the cuticle from the nail plate, put it back into the reverse. I'm just straight away pressing the reverse button, and then file the other side. Okay, just to remove the cuticle from the nail plate. Once I have done that, I'm just going to clean it with my brush, and then I'm going to clean this nail fold. Okay, this needs to be filed because it just looks ugly. And it's so hard, like you can really feel it. The skin in here is really hard. Okay, I'm just going to clean it a little bit more to improve the shape of this nail. And then once I'm happy with this part, I can scratch the surface of the nail plate. So remove the dust, and that's already look much better. It's kind of more even in this area. Now we are going to scratch the surface of the nail plate, like make sure there is no old gel left anywhere, because I usually keep a tiny amount of the product and then I remove it during this stage, so just before I apply the extensions. Okay, scratch it, and I'm going to shorten the free edge. Now the only problem I've got is because I've got those high hyponychium in here, I need to be very careful because I cannot file it anymore in there. Okay, so I only shorten it a little bit. And at the same time, I don't want to overfile too much of those free edge, because this way the form might go squint. So I'm just removing any bits and pieces. You can see it, probably even like that's the hyponychium is there. You have to always make sure there is no dust or any particles of the old gel underneath of your nail, because that's what affecting your form application as well, and how the product looks from underneath. I will just scrape it one more time what we have removed in this corner. Because there's lots in there. I really don't like this side of my finger. I think that's the most trouble one after my index. Okay, after this is done, we are going to clean the nail with the blue scrub. So I'm just picking up a pump of the blue scrub. Clean it nice and squeaky. I actually love the condition of my nails. They don't look too bad for wearing the extensions for so many years, which I'm very glad for. And then I'm going to use the form to sculpt it. I keep this for later on, where we use the base for the crystals application. This part goes underneath of the form. And then for this finger, so for each finger, I'm cutting forms differently. I sometimes had the question, actually not long ago, I had the question, why do you don't cut the form, or why do you cut the form? So for each finger, I cut it differently. For this finger, because the nail folds, like the fingers, the nail plate, this part, sticks out from the nail folds, I don't have to cut it out in there, like I will need to do it for this finger. So for this finger, I need to cut the entire stripe in here, so I can fit in the properly form. For this finger, I need to cut the hyponychium in there. And then for this finger, which is easy and it's not easy. Sometimes it's enough when I just cut this part to loosen it at this point where I've got the nail folds. But at the same time, I need to cut out a little bit because I've got those high hyponychium on this side. Okay, so I want my form to slide underneath of the nail on this side. And on this side, I need to cut out a little bit, just a little bit. So that's kind of shape. This is a shape of my nail bed under, like my free edge, and that's the shape I want my form to go under. So there isn't one answer on how to fit the forms. You would custom them for every client. Okay, in between the finger, I'm pre-pinching the nails. In between the fingers, I'm pre-pinching my forms, so the nails will be nicely pinched as well. And now I can just slide this form underneath. So the middle part has to be in the middle. And you can see it, the forms really goes in nice and underneath, and it does fit the nails properly. Okay, so there isn't one form application for every person. Every person is going to have slightly different form cut and a different application. I also like my form to come nice and straight. I don't want the forms which drop down, because that gives the ugly look of the nail. I'm going to apply an extra nail prep, because during the form application we might touch our nail. I know this is kind of like a little bit boring theory stuff, but at the same time this is the most important part, because the way you apply the form, that's the way the nail is going to look. If you apply it really wonky, the nail is going to wonky. You don't want it to go down. And actually now when I have applied the universal air bond, you can see it. That's here I have no free edge, because I am already on my hyponychium, and then I've got much bigger free edge on this side. Okay, so I love actually, because this is the largest nail from all of them, but I love how nicely it can pinch. I need to wait for the universal air bond to dry a little bit, and then we're going to use the Perfect Rose fiber gel. And obviously you guys know this is my favorite color, and I just love it so much, basically on its own as well. But also we've got those cover Nude back in stock as well, so the darker one, the touch darker one is back in stock as well. I'm picking up a small scoop of the product, and then I'm going to apply it. So remove the excess, just so you've got, remove the excess so you've got not much on the tip of your brush, and this way you can really apply it precisely around the cuticle area. So I'm actually almost touching my nail fold like, but there is hardly any product. Gosh, I don't want to say it because then I get the comments like, no, you can't touch the cuticles. I am really almost touching the cuticles, but even if you experienced nail technician, not beginner, even if I would touch it, the layer is so thin that later on when I blend everything around the cuticle, I would just file it away. So not a big deal, nothing would happen. And I actually do it quite often, but obviously the main rule is if you touch the cuticle, the product is going to lift. Basically, I think it's more into the fact if you apply it over the cuticle, then it is going to lift. But anyway, I have applied it on my nail plate, and now I'm just running to the free edge. Those nails aren't really long, they are going to the letter M. And I want straight away to have nice coffin shape, but I do not apply it too much because when I pinch it, the lower arches will go even lower. So I don't want to apply them too low. Okay, one side, and now I'm just doing the same on the other side. Right to the letter M, and then just so I've got some room for a mistake, I'm going to add those couple millimeters more, so I've got something to file. Especially that I'm working with my left hand. Okay, making sure this side has the product as well. And then once I'm happy, I'm going to give it a cure. So I'm putting it inside the lamp and I'm going to cure it for 30 seconds. And then using a pinching clamp, we are going to give an extra pinch to it. After 5 seconds, I just pull my hand out, wait for the exothermic reaction to cool down, and then I'm going to finish the curing. And then we can apply the pinching clamp. So 7, 5. You wouldn't pinch the client's nails, which are really weak, because it's obviously I'm giving an extra pressure. So now I can pinch it. And I feel like it straightens the nail, but also making it look much slimmer, much prettier. Okay, and then I can finish the curing for another 30 seconds. The reason behind those thin layer on the beginning as well, it kind of cures really well and it attached to the nails better, and also you've got bigger control over the product and you can press it harder. So you're kind of pressing it into the nail plate, because if you pick up a really big scoop of the product like we will do for the apex, you kind of almost not touching it. So if you would use this technique for your first layer, the product wouldn't kind of be pressed on into the nail. So this always works for me. And you can see it how much the shape of the nail has changed. It is much prettier. Now I can apply a second thin layer. So I'm picking up a small scoop again, remove the excess, and then I can really work through around the cuticle area. I can see it, I've got a tiny bit of missing product here on the nail plate. I can fill up those wee corner there, and I can do it for like 3 hours because the amount of the product I've got is not going to run into the cuticles. It's not going to run anywhere because it's such a small amount of the product. Okay, so I'm just perfecting. Sorry guys, like, I mean, normally I'm not as slow, but I want to show you everything in a almost slow motion, explaining everything, why I'm doing this way rather than a different way. And then obviously in a salon, like, the speed is slightly different. So I'm just filling up any gaps, making the nail nice and perfect, okay? Then I'm picking up another scoop, and this time we are going to pick up a really large scoop, like really, really big scoop. Okay, let it make almost like a wee bead on your brush. Okay, once you've got those bead, you can place it in your apex area. So now the most important part for us is the side view. Okay, so look at the side view. I might even move that out. And you want to release this ball, but once your product has touched the nail, you don't want to lift your brush because then you introduce lots of air bubbles. So I started a little bit too far away from the cuticle, so I'm pushing it to the cuticle, and now I'm going to work my way down the nail. I'm not going too close to the sides because by the time I reach the free edge, the product is going to run in there. Do not lose the contact with your gel and a brush. You don't want to leave the brush at all. If you do, you are bringing air bubbles in there, and that's where you start getting the troubles. Clean the brush, and now you can touch up one side to kind of almost blend it out. Touch up one side and then touch up other side, and that's our nail finished. Give it a cook. Okay, I can straight away close the products. If they are kind of shorter extension than I'm normally building, so this is plenty product on it. Sometimes if I would do those kind of length, I would apply another very thin layer straight after it. Okay, so I'm just going to cure it a couple more seconds and then I will inspect the nail. I don't think so we need to add anything more. So I can see it once I file this excess of the product there. I'm okay in here, I'm okay in there. I've got product on my apex and I've got too much product at the free edge. So I'm happy with it. I can release the form by pulling it down, and I can also apply the pinching clamp one more time into my nail just to keep everything in place. The gel kind of springs back. So normally for acrylics I would use the tweezer, or there are some special plastic pinching clamps which you could use as well, and that's enough. Oh yeah, thank you, cameraman. So for acrylics this is great, or a versatile like a pinching tool, the metal one. I don't have it in here, I've got it in a box. That's again absolutely plenty for acrylics, because once you keep it in there, the product cures because of the heat, and then it stays in this place, while gel, if you pinch it, by the time it cures, it kind of springs back. That's why I like to do it with the pinching clamps, and they have to be clear. So I wouldn't use the metal ones. Actually, I've got some metal ones in here as well. So again, metal one for acrylic, and then the clear ones for a gel, so the light can go through it and cure the product properly. Okay, my nail is cured, so I can release those pinching clamp and start filing. So let me clean the brush, and what I usually do, because this is another question you guys doing me now, please tell me if I talk too much through every single step I do. Just write it down. Dorota, come on, you are so boring, too much information. But sometimes I want to give you those extra information, so that's how I would clean my brush. Okay, shape it nice into those point, like I really want those point in my brush, and then store it either with the lid if it's on the desk, or if it's in the drawer, I can just store it like this. I've got some kind of desk organizer in there inside the drawer, so it doesn't hit the natural daylight, because the product would cure it as well. The product on the brush would cure it. Okay, I'm removing the inhibition layer with the UV cleanser. So give it a nice clean. Like, you don't want any inhibition layer left in there, because obviously uncured product cause allergies. The gels are HEMA free, but I would still be very cautious with any kind of product which goes into our nail. So I have filed a little bit on the free edge, and then I'm shaping my side walls. I want them to be coffin shape, so it's a kind of triangle shape. For a square nail they would go like this, but obviously I don't like those looks, so I would still taper it a little bit for coffin. I want to really get rid of them. Quite a lot of you will like those lower arches to be quite low. I don't. I really don't like them, and I've got the tendency to overfiling them for a purpose of looking nicer, because that's my sense of beauty of the nails. And I was really upset actually when I started my nail technician career, that's when I was overfiling those side walls. You know, I was getting bad comments like, why you do this, you shouldn't be doing it. And then I realized, yeah, thanks. Then I realized actually this is the shape I like. I'm not going to do them different way because that's the rules. And I kind of created my signature nail, which is overfiled lower arches. Okay, so what I did is I have overfiled my lower arches, and now I'm just smoothing out the entire nail from the top. Because of the C-curve, you want to kind of go one side, other side. So this way you smooth out the entire surface. And I find that this is the quickest way to file it for the clients as well, and to get a really nice shape of the nail. So you can already see it, it starts looking nice. Nicer, I would say, not nice. It's far away from nice yet. Okay, I also want to bring those product from the sides, get rid of it, and bring it kind of higher up. Don't file too much on my apex because I want the structure in there. And then I'm going to even out the free edge. And work on it. Okay, now I need to blend everything around the cuticle area. And I also need to bring this arch a little bit higher, so it matches the other one. Each time when I filed on the sides, or each time when I'm shortening the free edge, I'm also removing any bulk which has show up on those places as well by touching it up a little bit more. Okay, at this stage I can start filing and blending everything around the cuticle area. So now I'm just filing around the cuticle area and the other side. Obviously this is the quite difficult task, especially this side. Okay, a couple more movements and then we can swap into the buffer, and this will create a really big difference to our nail. Okay, I can already see it, it starts getting its shape. So I'm going to remove the dust and then take buffer and just buff it through the entire nail. So I want to buff one side first, other side, and I keep going. And this is changing like quite a lot in the shape of the nail. Okay, then blend everything around the cuticle area. And inspect the nails to see if you need to touch it up in any other places. So I would remove the dust, and I can see it. I've got a tiny bit product which is not blended at this side. Okay, then I'm checking if my arches are at the same height, and I can see it. This one is a little bit dropping just in this place. So this arch is a little bit dropping, and I'm going to sort it out by holding my file underneath. Do not put too much pressure. So if you're really fussy and you want really perfect the shape of the nail, you don't want to put the pressure, because if you do put the pressure, you might put it unevenly and then you would file in a place you don't want. But if you don't put the pressure and you keep it nice and straight, you wouldn't touch this arch because it's a bit shorter, but you would touch the other one in a place which is longer. I'm also checking the free edge. No, this is actually really nice. Measure the length. This is good. This is good. Okay, I could shorten it a touch more just to make it a more sharper coffin, because I like the coffin to be really nice and sharp. And also I could, when I'm looking through the C-curve on the bottom, I can see it. I've got a little bit excess product in this side as well. So I'm just going to touch it up because it will really bothers me later on when I wear the nails. So you kind of want to look through the entire surface of the nail, then you can see it any imperfection. And now I am 100% happy with this nail. It isn't perfect because I think such a thing like a perfect nail doesn't exist. Doesn't matter how long we would file it, there will be always some imperfection, but it is satisfying. So that's plenty. Okay, let me file this annoying side. And then let's start designing those nails. I wanted to, because I have been wearing those crazy nails, like all sort of different colors and designs, I wanted to go back to kind of my style, which is so plain, boring, crystals and a clear gel. And I love it so much, like I love it so much that I want to get rid of them and just have similar design on the other hand. I'm just going to get rid of that because we don't want the dust particles to get into our top coat. Ideally, if I would be doing my nails not for the camera, I would wait a couple seconds longer, I would go away, I would wash my hands, and then I would start designing so the dust got the time to calm down. Now, we have used the form, and now I've got this paper from the form, and I'm going to put the base gel in there. Just a small drop. And the crystals which we are going to use, you have guys seen me on the other video where we have done some unboxing from Alina Crystals. Oh, actually, cameraman, he's so organized today, guys. Always. Okay, he says he's always organized. We was doing the unboxing for Alina Crystals, which says the life is better with the bling, and I totally agree, as I said in the previous video as well. And they was a set of the crystals which I loved so much. That was them. And I feel like with this perfect rose gel, they look absolutely amazing and absolutely fantastic. So I cannot wait to use them. So let's clean my nails and let's bling them up. Honestly, this is like my favorite set of this year. I know it's just the beginning of the year, so probably this is my favorite set for the last few months. I'm going to pick up a drop of the base gel. And what I want is on this nail, I want similar kind of design, which we've got almost like a wee ring, which we've got it in there. Okay, so just apply small amount of the base gel, and then using the wax gem picker, we are going to put those crystals in there. So I'm picking up the large one, and then I'm going with the smaller ones. Actually, they are medium. No, they're the smallest ones. The smallest ones. 1, 2. Sorry, I'm really slow when I'm doing things with my left hand. But actually, maybe that's why I record so many videos as well, because sometimes I forget and I go too quick. Sometimes I'm going too slow. So I would really appreciate it, guys, of your feedback as well. If you're rather doing me things a little bit slower or a little bit faster. I mean, obviously, I'm producing here those tutorials mainly for you guys, so you can enjoy it and you can learn. So I really appreciate your feedback in this matter. Okay, I have placed the crystal, making sure they are nice and straight, because there is nothing worse than like wonky crystals. And then we are going to also, for a change, do some stripe of the crystal in here. Because I feel like it will look so pretty. And just to make the life easier for me, actually I came up with the idea, I need to clear this, they've got such a nice blingy pot that I want to see if I'm able to clear the lid and use it as a crystal holder, so I could throw away like a crystal tree. I've got the triangle one. I'm getting better and better with my triangles, but I could just throw them into those lid, and I think that would be awesome. So I'm going to test it if it is possible, because I don't like sometimes when there is too many of them. It's quite difficult to pick them up. But anyway, we are also going to use those large ones in there. See, I don't like, that will be easier. Because you need to pick up the same size. Imagine now going one crystal bigger, one smaller. So I'm not fussy yet about perfectness of these crystals. I want them to be on the nail, and then I can move them into the right place. They're actually really interesting because I can see it's a pink in there, a little bit of yellow, all sort of blue, all sort of different colors. It's almost like I'm pink AB crystals, and I'm definitely going to get more of them. Like, I love them so much. Lots of blink on the middle finger. Okay, check how straight it is. And now you can see it, guys. I've got a little gap at the free edge. I don't like it, but I wouldn't be able to squeeze in one more crystal. So what I'm doing is I'm very gently separating them a little bit. Okay, so this way I have minimalized the gap at the free edge, but they still look like they are nice and full. Give it a 2-3 seconds freeze, and then we are going to move on into the next ones. Okay, so the next one is a medium-sized crystal. And the same on the other side. And then at the end, just a wee tiny one. Drop more. And I wanted to use a different caviar beads for it, so I have took some bigger caviar beads, but actually I really didn't like it. Now I need to make sure the crystal is definitely not on the nail, not outside the nail. Same in here. Nice and straight. No, it needs to go higher. Okay, that's me happy now. Again, freeze it. And I show you, for example, what caviar beads I wanted to use it, but they just didn't go at all. So I've got some caviar beads this size, and I wanted to use them, but I felt like they're feeling too chunky, and I didn't. So we are going to pick up a drop of the base gel and do 1, 2, like couple dots on the places where I want the caviar beads. And I will show you. I mean, it's a pretty caviar bead, but it just looks too chunky, like totally too chunky. So I didn't like it. And we are going to go for my usual caviar beads, the wee micro beads. And I love them. They're so small, but I think they look so, like, you can hardly see them, but they look so amazing on the nails. Like, obviously I have dropped few, so I'm just going to use them. It would be such a waste to just bin them. I don't know, I'm the person which kind of likes to, you know, like use every single product in there. And I also don't like to have too much stuff. So I'm using same products for different ideas. I like to mix things, and I think it's just quite fun to do so. Okay, so another one. So basically I'm applying those wee tiny caviar bead in between every empty space. And the crystals itself looks really nice and pretty, but definitely with the caviar beads, like, I think like they are even so much prettier. Of course, it is a time-consuming process, like really time-consuming process, but it's so worth it. Okay, another one. And another one. And I find that if I do it with the brush, I think it's the quickest, at least for me. Okay, I need to turn my finger. And the last one. Check if they're nice and straight, and if you're happy, give it a flash cure. Gosh, this is so pretty. I'm going to save you hassle of watching me doing a thumbnail, because I will just pre-cap one of those 3 designs, probably just the 3 crystals on the top. Or I would match it either with the pinky or I would match it with the middle finger. Both would look really good. Oh wow, I love them. Okay, now I feel like I need to do something in there, and the options I've got is either another row of the crystals or caviar beads. Caviar beads. I can't believe cameraman says caviar beads. Do you like them? Yeah. Just not the application. Yeah. We actually yesterday, was it yesterday? Oh my goodness, I'm just so lost. Yes, it was yesterday. We had the 20th anniversary of being together. I can't believe times fly so much. Gosh, I hate doing it with my left hand. So unprecise. Are you getting, guys, sometimes fed up when you're doing nails with your left hand? Like no control. But I'm still so impressed how it's changed. If you go and watch the video from maybe 2 years time, when did we gosh, will be maybe even 3, but if you watch the videos from like about 3 years time, you will notice the difference, how much my left hand has improved. I had no control over it, like I wasn't even actually able to hold the e-file, like was no chance, and now I'm able to e-file, no problem. I'm able even to do some like a very basic design. So this is a really huge improvement, and that just shows you that even if you have no not trained hand, you can learn everything and you can become much better. Okay, because they are my nails and I want them to be so pretty because I love them so much and they are so me and they are not over the top. I want them to be perfect. So actually the design on those nails is the perfection, like, you know, you want them nicely shaped, you want the crystals to be there, you want them to look pretty. Oh, come on. Okay, guess what I'm thinking in my head now? Okay, that's it. And this one in here. Cameraman is yawning. Shh, shh, shh. Caviar beads. I love them. He loves them too. Okay, I'm 100% happy with this beautiful blink set. Oh my goodness, I love them so much. I could get married again with you with this set of the nails. So simple, so beautiful. Okay, let's cure them couple minutes. And then we are going to apply the top coat just to finish the entire look. I hope, guys, you have had fun watching this very simple set. That's why I have tried to pack it with as much knowledge, as much hints and tips as possible, to compromise it, because we didn't do crazy designs. But as I say on my nails, less is more. And I definitely prefer the look of the gel on its own. Like, so much nicer. Okay, now top coat application. So you want to go You can even go over the caviar beads. Usually I do apply the product on the caviar beads. I don't want to apply the product on top of the crystals because they would lose their cuts and they aren't as shiny then. So I'm just making sure the top coat is there and then remove the excess of it. Apply it here. Over the caviar beads, and then at the free edge, when I'm having a crystals like very close to the free edge, sometimes actually they are at the free edge, I would apply a little bit more top coat so this crystal is in place. Now I can also see it because of my favorite place. I'm not happy with the place in here. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to apply the slightly thicker drop of the top coat in there. Okay, so a drop of the top coat in this place. And just let it run. Not on the cuticle. Turn it upside down and then I'm going to cure it because it was really bothering me that there was a wee dent, and then give it a cure. Okay, and once you freeze it, you can apply the top coat on the other one. So again, very close, even over a caviar beads. And then on the top. So when you're applying a top coat, like where the nail is divided into half, I like to wait a couple seconds. That's why I did want also, that's why I also wanted to freeze the previous nail, so the top coat wouldn't run. And on this one, you want to kind of wait for the top coat to kind of level up a little bit because you are having the angle of the brush. You are having a brush angle. No, you are having, brush at the different angles, which makes the light reflection really ugly. And I'm always fussy how the light reflect on the nails. So I want to kind of wait for the top coat to even out and self-level. And then I would apply it a little bit more in the middle so it looks better. Wait for it and then give it a cure. Okay, so that's how I apply it on the nails which are divided half to half. And then give it a cure. I like to cure my top coat for 60 seconds and then after the nails are cured, I'm waiting a couple seconds before I touch it or before I apply the cuticle oil. The reasons behind it is, even if we're using the no inhibition top coat, so that's like no wipe top gel, we can still apply some chrome pigments over it, and that's because it kind of has a little bit of those inhibition layer, if that makes sense. And if we touch it too soon with our fingers, or worse, cuticle oil, the nails can become a little bit dull. So if you're finding this problem with your application, always make sure you cool them down a little bit, and then you can apply the cuticle oil. So that's them cooled down, and now I can apply the cuticle oil and show you those beautiful set of the nails which we have created. Obviously I will wash them afterwards as well because I don't like when I've got some cuticle oil applied on top of the dust. Okay, this is really not good, but it's so pretty. I love it, and it's so really delicate and beautiful set. And look at those crystals, they so nice, so pretty, like all sort of different colors. Amazing set. I'm sending you lots of glittery hugs and bye for now.